Hey, my name is Paola and this is Fundiendo Neuronas TV. Bienvenidos a Fundiendo Neuronas TV. Este canal es un canal Spanglish, bilingüe, español y inglés. Hoy estaremos discutiendo si las redes sociales pueden silenciar y pueden suspender una cuenta o la cuenta del presidente a un presidente Donald Trump, sí o no. El mundo sabe lo que pasó la semana pasada en el Capitol Hill en Estados Unidos. Welcome, tengo una gente ahí, no sé qué idioma habla, para continuar. En fin, can social media platforms just decide to suspend an account? If yes or no, which are the consequences? And yeah, that's the thing. Can Twitter, Facebook, social media in general silence Donald Trump? En fin. El mundo sabe. Dios mío, ¿por qué idioma voy a hacer? ¿En español o en inglés? Estoy ahí. En fin. Voy a continuar en inglés. Anyways, so the world knows that Twitter permanently suspended Trump's account and took his messages offline due to the risk of further incitement to violence. Trump's page was also suspended from Facebook, especially until the inauguration of Joe Biden in 2 days as the new president of the United States of North America. Therefore, the big tech companies, Facebook / Instagram and Twitter, received a storm of criticism after the decision of banning the social media platforms of President Donald Trump. Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, and her spokesman, via her spokesman, Stefan Seibert, said that the freedom of expression can be intervened, but only within a legal framework and not after the decision of the board of the company. So there are several questions when debating or talking or having the conversation if social media platforms are allowed to silence or ban an account. There are ethical questions, desirability questions, lack of another word, but also the legal question. Are social media platforms allowed to do that, so to suspend an account legally? Yes, they are. Legally, they are. Why? Because those social media platforms, Facebook or Twitter, are private entities or companies with terms of use. When you access their platform, you have a contract with them. So you have to respect those terms of use. If you don't respect them, they can deny you the access to their account, suspend your account, block you, do whatever they want with it, because it's their company. You enter in a relationship, in a legal relationship with them, and they already set the terms of use, the rules. You have to play by their rules. However, is it desirable? No. Is it ethical? No. Why? Because it's very complex. If you ask me, nobody asked me, but okay. Why? Because those platforms, those big tech social media platforms, they transcend pure commercial interests and laws. They transcend that their objective is too big, it's too worldwide. They are medias. Even though they're social media, they are a very powerful media. We get to know what happens in Iran first via Twitter, then another platform, or maybe Instagram, social media, before the regular mainstream media like BBC or CNN, blah, 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 blah. So it's very important. So to me, it seems to be yeah, a censorship, yes. And like I think Trump said that as well. They're not censoring him only or silencing him alone, also us, everyone. And we already know that in Instagram or here on YouTube, you cannot write or say everything you want to. It's not always desirable, we know, but still. Epa! Blood Moon. I'm at Dominican Renaissance Day. Visto. Welcome, Dominican Renaissance. While we were waiting for you, why do you always have 2 streams? Did I have 2 streams? Really? Ni me fijé. En serio? Oh.
How's it going?
I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Oh, I always have 2 streams. Maybe because I plan one with YouTube. Gracias por eso. Oh my gosh. Welcome, Dominican Renaissance. Today's debate is can social media platforms just decide to silence you, to suspend your account? Or, of course, this has to do with the social media ban that Donald Trump had since last week. So should social media silence you? Can they do that? Should they decide that or not?
I think in a world where there's like more politically diverse leaders in social, like how do I say this? In the US at least, most of the social medias are controlled by people who are like far left, like liberals. Control like most of it. So it's biased against anyone who's not liberal. I feel like if it wasn't that way, if it wasn't like almost totally biased to one side, I think they could do whatever they want. But a situation where they have a monopoly and they're just like, they're just gonna ban whoever doesn't agree with their politics. That's just like I think at that point the government needs to step in.
Okay. What you said makes sense in the sense that, valga la redundancia, that they showed, at least to me, that they have a certain agenda that they want to push or that they prefer, a very liberal or extreme liberal, if you want to, agenda. As freedom of speech, no right in the world is absolute, no right. However, by censoring him, Donald Trump, silencing him, what you create, according to me, is more polarization. Because why? Everybody will go to another platform. So you will have very liberal or whatever ideology people have on one platform, and people with another ideology in another platform. What does that create? Again, echo chambers. The same algorithms. You belong to a world and you don't see the other side. And yes, to me, I was. We already know we cannot comment everything. Of course, they are securing their platforms and everyone from hate speech, because even though freedom of speech, you have your freedom of speech, your constitutional freedom of speech.
That's right.
It's not absolute. And diablo, ya se me fue right now. But at the same time, I think that they couldn't. It's difficult because he was inciting he incited the storm of the Capitol. At the same time, they had to do that long ago. That's one, because what happened or what he said is not the result of one tweet. It's a result of 4 years of tweeting BS. And I don't think that was the best decision. Why? It was not maybe a subjective decision, but it was not a legal one. They should have made their decision based on a legal framework and not based on the very it was a very arbitrary decision, according to me. So
that's like one of the biggest problems, is that they change the rules whenever they want.
Exactly, that's a problem, and they are the media. They are the social media. They transcend the social, the people to people media. They are actually, they belong to the mainstream media. Like even Donald Trump, he never used his spokesperson. Many politicians of the world don't use their spokesperson. They use Twitter or whatever social media, but usually Twitter. And by censoring that, I mean, like, it went too far. It was too arbitrary, and they had maybe not sit on the table, but it's like they already showed, se quitaron la careta. They showed their true colors and their agenda, actually, by doing that. Like, okay, you're welcome, you're tolerated as long as you don't cross those boundaries. Of course, again, freedom of speech is not absolute, but still, it's 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 like if you don't cross their boundaries, it's okay. You know what I mean? So as long you can say everything you want, as long as you agree with them. Okay, of course you can. It's so difficult because it's a private company. You have to agree to their terms of use, but still. Bloodmoon Fresa says private companies can silence you if they choose. It's not censorship. They shouldn't, since I have been silenced, and it is annoying. Yeah. They can silence you, exactly. It's not, she says it's not censorship. Yeah, it's true. It's like you violated the terms of use. But still, it's not a small platform. It's not the terms of use of a restaurant or of a cafe, of a bar. It's the media, and people are allowed, and they have, to me, the ethical responsibility to let all the voices to be heard, to let people speak. We are entitled, I guess, to hear all the opinions, whether we like it or not. Or just being Macho says, first time a president has been banned by a media entity. It's true. Yeah, he was not a regular president. Bloodman says, hateful comments or those that may induce violence are censored. Yes, he for sure induced violence. It's true. It's true. However, it was not very hard to induce violence because those guys were crazy. So, Dominican Renaissance.
Yeah, I don't think that's I mean, there are people, there are liberals who incite violence also, and they don't get banned, right?
Exactly.
Like there was that one I don't know if she is a comedian or something, I don't know, but she uploaded a picture of like Trump's decapitated head.
Oh.
And yeah, and you know, it's whatever.
That's not tasty at all. That's also violence, at least visual violence. Yes, that's also true. I also have the impression that if you go against a certain ideology, you get banned. Not really that you get banned, but like your comments are offline or erased. You have to align yourself to a vision, to a ideology, and to me, that's very dangerous. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but no, there are consequences for what you say. Exactly. However, it's true, but the president is different than us, and I think all of us here on YouTube already know, and even on Instagram, everywhere, in all the platforms, sometimes we just can't say anything, or we have to, even words, it's just general words. You can't say them. When you're talking about some people with a certain religion, not even talking about them, you just say that religion, you get kind of banned or censored. When you describe the ethnical origins of someone, some ethnicities cannot be mentioned, they're erased. It's crazy. I once got two two comments by a guy that hates me or was and did not agree with what I said, and his messages were were deleted. I would never delete them. I wanted to answer him a lot of things, but it got deleted. So
Listen, it's all a lie. The
so
reason they banned me is because I'm white. That's it.
no,
There's no other reason. All
no,
right.
no, 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 tampoco así. No, I don't.
There's no other reason.
No, 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 no. Macho says.
Uh oh. Social media got her. Jack Dorsey got her. Uh oh. I say one joke and the whole stream messes up. Jeez.
Her career, her career, answered. Talking about was censored. Exactly. Yo sí no sé. Katie Griffin. Hope she comes back. Ni idea. You know who Katie Griffin is? Dominican.
Yeah, that's the lady that posted that photo.
Ah, okay. All right. Morena says, as a president, you are held to the higher standard. Yes, he cannot just say anything that comes to mind. Exactly, yes. That's why Trump has been the worst president of the United States, of the US, because he's not a homus politicus, he's not a politician. He said whatever, he's too narcissistic. So, it is what it is. Yes, YouTube deletes a lot of comments, but man, that's so annoying. I don't know why.
You know that wasn't a thing like 2 years ago. Like YouTube was way more like uncensored. Like just 2 years. Like when I started my channel, like that was before like comments started being randomly deleted. You know, that was like before all these like right leaning channels were just like wiped off of YouTube. So like we've seen like a huge like shift
Mm-hmm.
on you know everyone who has a YouTube channel knows what I'm talking about. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I don't like it. You know, I'd rather have the YouTube of 2 years ago where people were like saying some crazy shit, but some crazy things, but at least people were able to like express their views. And if your comment was deleted, then you knew like, okay, this person deleted my comment. It's not like, oh, you like YouTube, like the algorithm. It's just like it's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, but also I think that maybe they began to delete comments or maybe videos and suspend or block accounts because that they incited to more violence. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe in the U.S. Maybe in the world in general. Because yes, I actually I until a couple months before the pandemic I never commented a lot because I know myself I comment a lot, but my comments are very long, extremely long, so I refrained from doing that. So but I see that so annoying when you write a long comment and they delete it. It's just like even you
I
don't
know,
know.
right?
You don't know why. I remember the Fresa, you Blood Moon told me like your comment got deleted or whatever. Or be aware because sometimes or maybe don't write this word or change that word or use something. She gave me some tips because the comments got deleted. So maybe because there was more violence on record at least. Maybe they said that they should take some responsibility for it because people were communicating more and more through their platforms and grouping or calling each other or calling each other out more through their platforms, of course, but organizing themselves or organizing events through their platforms. I don't know. So, yes, I want some more devil's advocates. Yes, yeah, social media. The media is run by higher power, of course, and they all have their line. The ones they show us what we want to see.
Yeah.
We want to see what they want us to see, and other ones show us what they want us to see as well. It's always run by the elites in every country. You have to compare that. In every country, the media, the newspapers, or TV, the mainstream media is run by the elites, by 3, 4, 5 elite families of those countries, and you always see different mensajes. How you say that? Message, not even message. Stories. In France, that's so in the whole world, also here in Belgium, but there is crazy. You have two different type of newspapers, and what you read is so different. Here as well, when you make some publicity on TV, they change their publicity often, and it's just by hearing the first sentence, okay, that newspaper, or that type of magazine, magazine, because they truly have a different point of view. But yes.
Yeah, the media in America is not as free as people think. Like, I'm talking like, news. It's all like it's like it appears to be democracy, but it's kind of not. It's like it's weird the way that America works, because like you have the freedom to do stuff, but there are like all these these obstacles, or these like things that don't let you fully enjoy that like freedom.
Mm-hmm. True. But you said like that in the US there is no free media. Actually, I don't think anywhere in the world. However, however, I just think that in the US the media is very funny, and sometimes, sorry, Americans, even laughable or even cringy and annoying, in the sense that you watch CNN or Fox or whatever news channels it is. Normal, even in the Dominican Republic, they tend to be more objective. They say they should describe something. Like yesterday night, a 29-year-old woman was found in her house with her hands tied, and a shot on her left side of her head. In the US, like yesterday, a brutal murder was committed in blah blah blah. A poor 29-year-old mother with 3 children, whatever, was brutally murdered by this and this and this and this and that. And then they go on and comment and comment and comment and comment. This cannot be possible, blah blah blah. And all those commentators, I am like, this is not possible. It's too much. I don't even know how to explain it, but you know better than me. And they infuse so much fear. we watch more CNN over here.
Oh yeah.
But still, and Fox, they're not better. They're not better at all.
Oh no. Fox showed who they really are when they called in Arizona too early during the election.
Uh-huh.
So like, yeah, I mean, we're completely like, we're just like, oh yeah, it's all bullshit. Yeah, we fully realize that now.
During the
Well,
election,
some of us.
they repeated every time the same and same and same. But they instilled too much fear to my taste. That was the first time that I really paid attention to it, even more than before. And I was like, no, but this is systematically. They always do that. It's a lot of comment. They don't stick just to facts. to objective facts. It's always with a lot of opinion and heavily emotional loaded words. To me, I was really shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Morena says you still have to be careful what you put out there. There are definitely mentally challenged people who can find you and commit bodily harm for something you said or showed on your channel. Yes, there are so many crazy people on YouTube.
How are they gonna find me if they're mentally challenged?
I know, you never know. That's something. En esa cuenta, Dios mío, esto está lleno de gente loca. Este YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple crazy people, but most of the time they're not like that crazy.
No, I don't know.
Because I mean, think about like some of the crazy things people have said, like, and they're fine. You know what I mean?
Some people say crazy things and live another life.
I guess it depends on how crazy it is.
Some people like a lot to agitate. Some people have have content, have a channel just to agitate people. Some of them they know what they're doing. Others I think they know what they're doing, but it's crazy. And even some commentators, some people comment creepy things and crazy things. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of those, but I don't get them that much nowadays.
But
I don't know why.
Crazy. Some mentally unstable people. Morena says that she appreciates his honesty, but there are times and places where certain comments are appropriate or not. Yes, me too. That something I appreciated about Donald Trump was that actually what you saw is what you got. You know, what you see is what you get, more or less. Even though he played his public, he knew what to say to win, but at least you knew you could kind of foresee him. I guess that Eddie. Hey Eddie, welcome. You knew how to foresee him. You know, you would not be shocked, or maybe we were always shocked, but we kind of expected it. So
I think, you know, with the situation and, you know, how the US government operates nowadays, I think he was okay. You know, one thing that people overlook that's kind of a big deal to me, I think, is that before Trump, on news, there would always be like talks about war. Like there's always like, oh, like now ISIS took over this town or blah blah blah. Like that was normal in America before Trump. Like constant like war stuff on the news and like developments or whatever. But when he got in office, he basically got rid of ISIS and like I think he got rid of ISIS in like a month, and he hasn't gotten us into any wars.
Only the great American nation, only.
I mean, yeah, it was, I mean, I'm not saying like he decided.
France, it's always the US.
He decided that
Okay. Ahora la bandera americana. It's always the US, the savior of the world.
no, he's different though. When it comes to like wars and stuff, he didn't start any wars. He did some crazy stuff, but he didn't start a war.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate not having to think about the Middle East for the last 4 years.
Why do you think about the Middle East? It wasn't the Middle East that started that. You must know that.
I know.
People were just living their lives. It's the usual suspects that always start the wars. You have to be mindful of that. You have to know that. Those people all around the world, they're living, you know, their best, not their best life to be, they're dictators or whatever. It's just at a certain point that those dictators don't, you know, become their less loved dictators. They're I want to get rid of you, dictator, because my interests are in danger now. So it's not, they don't just start those wars just because they want to start a war. So you be mindful of that, you know? Like,
Oh, I'm mindful.
Que el tío Tom entonces.
Who starts wars and why?
So Macho says that the US has only two political parties, so it limits opposing political views. Yes, yes, yes.
But those parties are starting to they're starting to have, the Republican Party is starting to be more submissive, and they're starting to just not want to fight anymore with Democrats. So they're just starting to just agree with their point of views, especially since they lost the Senate, and now the White House, the Senate, and Congress will be all Democrat. And Republicans don't do a really good job when it comes down to fighting the good fight. I mean, they don't fight the way these younger progressives fight this war, and that's why they were able to lose the House. They lost the and they lost the Senate too, because of how they fight. Now, I see that you had a question here about is this trying to silence what they did to Trump? I think this is horrible what they did, and it just shows you how dumb Americans are. I'm actually a part of one of those people who got their Twitter suspended, and it wasn't because I have these crazy radical views. It was just because I work for somebody who is a political candidate in Congress, and who they saw was a danger or a threat to the party, or to the Democratic Party. That's why we were silenced. And it's okay. Listen, because here's what's going to happen now. It's going to be up to the people to really decide how they want to go from here. Do we still want to be on Twitter? Because what's going to happen when they start to silence Democrats, right? And they will do so. Let's say AOC says something reckless out of her mouth. What are they going to drop her to? What's going to happen then? And they're going to expect everybody to just be like, oh, now they're silencing us. And it's no, you have to, silencing is wrong, period. And I would rather see, and they say that Trump is such an enemy, but at least he showed you how he was moving on on Twitter, right? Now, how stupid you could be to think that it will be an alleged white supremacist, right? Why the hell would you want him to delete the social media where he's telling you what he's doing? Why would you now
Right.
You want him to move in silence? So now
Right.
you want all the white supremacists to move in silence. And do you
Right.
not realize that the only reason why some people were able to catch these, and I'm talking about the real white supremacists, is
The
because
real ones,
of what
yep.
they said on social media. So now they're gonna be able to communicate in private, and now be able to do stupid stuff. So I'm starting to think that America wants to be in danger.
Polarization, that's what I say. Even extreme or opposite views, they will be in different platforms, they will not communicate with each other, they will not know how they think about each other or about certain topics, and it will be, even more divided country.
Yeah, and even when you're talking about ISIS, the reason why they were able to track ISIS is through social media, because they had one. Hello.
Oh.
So now you're banning all these people, and it's just now I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even proud to be an American anymore, because it's just you can't even say anything without everybody being so sensitive. I'm entitled to my opinion, and it's just just because my opinion is not democratic or beneficial to the Democratic Party, that doesn't make me wrong. That makes you emotional. So that's why, and there will be lawsuits. There will be lawsuits. I'm not going to talk too much about it here, but there are people who will go against, and it's either because now you're running businesses, right? And that's not real American of Facebook and Twitter to do. Now you're running businesses. So how are you going to compensate us? Even though you say that you're a private company, no, that's not how things work. It's when you starting to specifically target certain people with political, that's social media terrorism, that you're targeting a specific group of people.
Yeah, fascism. Kind of.
Not because of, and listen, there are some people who raided the Capitol who still have their Twitters. But no, you're just specifically targeting people who have a certain ideology, and people who are able to waken up people. My Twitter wasn't popular, but the reason a lot of my tweets were because I was speaking the truth. I had maybe about 2,000 followers, 2,000 followers or whatever, and a lot of my tweets will go viral because of the political climate that we're in. So it's just and I wasn't even working in politics anymore. So it's why did you delete my Twitter? And once I got on YouTube, I started to retract from tweeting a lot of things about political stuff because I know I had to separate myself because I know people are sensitive. But it's just like they still deleted it, and it's just like there's no reason why you did other than because I have conservative views.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I totally agree actually with you. You know what happened? I forgot his name. I'm trying to recall. In Argentina, you have all these gender fights and movements, just like in the US and in Chile as well. And they banned this very famous guy. I don't remember his name now. He's also a bit from the right. He's against the gender ideologies and all that stuff. He's very conservative, actually. I don't agree with everything he says, but I forgot his name. And he was banned. Also, some women as well, women that are against gender ideology in Argentina are banned from Twitter and other social media platforms and other just mainstream platforms. So it's like you have to align with them in order to speak your mind, and that's so dangerous.
But how come they didn't ban Maxine Waters and the AOCs when Trump got in office? And they were threatening. They were telling people to go riot and to go burn them down. People were getting attacked in restaurants. Political commentators. They didn't ban them then. Like
that's true.
Antifa and all these other people were attacking these random. Like look at what happened at the Trump Rose Garden when he was doing his conversation. Did you see they were people throwing bikes and stuff at political people, people, and it was because of what Democrats were saying. There was no ban then. So if you're going to ban one, you have to ban all.
I agree.
It's true. I agree. It's true. So much. Thank you for joining. So,
you're welcome.
What do you think?
Well, I think of the whole.
Is your family from Ocoa or San Jose de las Matas?
Who, me?
Your family is you.
No, my family's from Cibao in Santiago. In La Capital.
I thought they were from Ocoa. You look like some neighbors that I have from Ocoa. Sorry.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard I look like somebody.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I think it was right what Twitter did. I think if you say certain stuff and you have people rioting the Capitol building, you could probably say something more that could have people even doing some crazier stuff. So I think it was right by them to do it, but at the same time, I think it should have been stopped from the beginning because Trump has been doing this from inception. Even before he was president, when he was going at Obama, because he felt like he wasn't really a U.S. citizen and he didn't deserve to be president. He was in there harping and to check his records. He's not here. So he's been active in like just on Twitter, just kind of like stirring the drink. So this was like the first violation out of many for Trump. But I think, they saw it, it just went too far. Like it was a great show, Trump, the presidency was a great show. But it went too far. It's just like it's almost like the audience went and started fighting the the people on stage, So he incited that. But at the same time, I think we're entering an age where censorship is really big. So if a media company has the power to censor its president, a private entity, basically telling the leader of the free world, we're going to shut you down, says a lot too. I'm not skipping that part. And I think this might be the first time that a president has been shut down, either by a newspaper, TV, online media entity. So
everywhere we don't hear anything about Trump. That's so weird. A week without knowing anything about Trump.
Can I ask you a question, Macho? Can you point out one tweet that he told them to go rally and storm the Capitol?
No, but he said, he's it's just the thing is about Trump. I think he's the first president that has a cult following. Because even JFK, when JFK was murdered in Dealey Plaza in Dallas, the country didn't riot.
But Can
But
we?
I feel. Let me just finish this, Eddie.
Sorry.
But I feel that if something were to happen to Trump, oh, there would be riots. There would be. There would be like almost like a civil war. You know, that's how powerful or influential
Mm-hmm.
Trump is to a certain loyal base.
Right. No, I do 100%. I do 100% agree with you, and I'm not trying to make an excuse. I don't think any of us are trying to make an excuse for what I think we can all agree on there that what happened at the Capitol was wrong. But what I'm saying is that I didn't see that same energy when they were legit. There were people actually trying to attack the president in Washington based off what Democrats were saying.
And yeah, when he got elected too, I think Trump they rioted too when he got elected.
They were trying to attack him. Like there were places he couldn't even go. And this is the president of the United States. And this was based off of things that people, Democrats in Congress, progressives in the Senate, and Democrat commentators. I mean, those people should have been arrested because they were trying to get people to attack the president and the people who worked in the White House. But there was no energy for that, and there was no energy for that. But also, when you're talking about, I'm sorry, like when it comes down to silencing the president, that's not okay. Like you should never ever like that's basically saying that the president has no power and that companies are able to do what they want to do. There should be some type of code where that stuff at least needs to go through the government.
Can I show a clip real quick of like what happened in the chambers?
Wait, because otherwise they can ban this. You can show 7 seconds.
No, it's not like music or anything. It's just like guys talking.
But also images are copyrighted. So show 7 and say something in 7 seconds.
Alright, I'll show a little bit.
Okay. Thank you. No, ninguno sirve.
And you know, Biden goes into office on Wednesday, so it's going to be action-packed week.
I legitimately think Americans gave up and they don't care anymore. They're just like whatever.
Just like, how is this? Look, how is this? You know, a coup?
But the Dominican Renaissance, you know it was wrong. A lot of those people were armed.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did like Washington D.C. is not an open carry state.
Exactly. It's not public space. You just don't do that.
So and you know, like at the end, Dominican Renaissance, you know that if they were in another country, like if they were in Trinidad, if they were Dominican,
they would have gotten shot down,
and they would have attacked the president like that, they would have been shot.
Yeah, they would have shot down.
It shouldn't be different.
They had snipers all over the place in D.C. I'm surprised they didn't snipe no one out.
And they were not only attacking, the thing is, they weren't only like putting Democrats in danger, they were putting Republicans in danger too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying either or is like a good thing, because it's not. But at the end of the day, like they weren't trying to fight.
I'm telling you, Trump has his own code.
No. They weren't.
Republicans don't even like Trump no more. They don't like him no more.
I think that that group of people had their own agenda. They just used Trump.
Yeah, they don't like Trump no more. They allowed him because they won. He wasn't a Democrat. But everything that he's gone, plus he's not.
People who were running in, the people like the protesters, they were only using Trump. Their ideology was not to help Trump. They basically wanted to just storm the Capitol and take over the government. That's not helping Trump. Because taking over the government will be taking over Trump too.
Well, you know, taking over the government, that's like one big matrix. You don't just go to the Capitol and go, "Hey, I took over."
Yeah, but who knew? But who knew? But okay, if they would have assassinated all those Congress members and Senate people who were there, that would have been a big threat.
Yeah, of course.
And who knew they could have had some things that like, and the army was not close by, so they could have like had another caravan of people who took out the White House. We let's not try to act like things can't be planned, and like people have been planned worse. Yeah. And they didn't even try. Like imagine if they legitimately tried, they could have definitely took over the government.
Hell no.
Yeah,
the government's too far reaching for you to take it over in one day.
But
No, dude, that's
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It's not
No.
like the movies. It's not like Olympus
listen. The
falling.
Russian
Yeah, it's true.
Revolution,
Knocked
the
it down.
Russian.
Like I took over. It doesn't work that way.
But
Look,
look
in
at
the
what
Russian
people
Revolution, there wasn't one shot fired. They literally just went inside the government buildings and declared themselves the new government. Literally.
Dominican Renaissance, shots or no shots, guns, no guns. You just don't do something like that. That's
I'm
a
not
capital
saying.
kill. You just don't do that in no, governmental, building of the world. You just don't do that. You have to respect that.
Yeah,
You
I think
don't do that.
I think
People march in the streets and and say things out loud, but you just don't storm, Congress houses, Capitol, whatever, White House.
I
You
mean,
should do that. There is an
it's just kind
ethical,
of funny.
a
It was
legal
like,
part of it, but also an ethical part of it. You know why? People will take you less seriously. Many people that are Republican do not feel ashamed of it, don't like Trump anymore and all that stuff. It's just, how, like the reputation of the U.S. right now in the world, outside of the U.S., it's like you don't
Yeah, it's not
expect
so good.
that
It's not so good. It's
from
not
the
so good.
U.S. They are the example of democracy, morality. They're the judges of
Yeah,
all.
but that's been gone for a while now.
And now it's like
For
they
the past
drop.
20 years, like America's reputation globally has
Yeah.
dwindled.
Yes. The world says like, wow, Americans showed it's true.
Yeah, we're war
Color
hungry,
and
we're
level
arrogant.
by electing Trump, but no one knew how he was. And then
I mean,
now,
we elected Trump,
oh my
but
gosh, Americans are even more backwards than we thought.
yeah, but take this into account. We elected Trump over Hillary, and it's not saying much.
But she won by the
Yeah.
popular vote, actually.
But what was uncovered about her, oh man,
I don't know.
she was exposed. Like the
I mean,
whole
Hillary-
Clinton
I don't know.
family was exposed during this presidency.
I don't know. I like to hear.
She's the kind of person to say a racist joke, and the news anchor will like cover for her. That's Hillary Clinton for you.
I mean, her husband was in a scandal where he was almost like he was dating underage kids, and nobody said anything about it.
She was not underage. Monica was not.
No.
Epstein.
He was connected. He was connected, and he was even
Jeffrey Epstein.
It was even a court date during the Supreme Court. They were supposed to go to court, and nobody said they actually banned people for talking about it.
I don't know. It was not proven at court, so.
I know. So it's
I don't
yeah,
know.
It didn't even go to court.
It's hearsay. Yeah. I mean, it's media evidence.
No,
like to say,
it's not media evidence. There was documents that were in the Supreme Court about this. So at the end of the day, that's still a court.
and the emails too, right, Eddie? The emails from Hillary,
Like,
she refused to give them up.
That's all part of like those are public documents that you can look up. So at the end of the day, it does. Let's say if it is fake. Let's say it's all fake, but people should be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So you can't silence people for that. Like
but you have to be careful how you say that. Allegedly, supposedly.
Yeah, and then I think there was a movie that came out about
because
Benghazi.
if that was Trump, the information would have been all over, and they wouldn't silence anybody.
Remember the thing about Benghazi and Hillary? How like she called off backup for the people trapped there, and she had emails going back and forth, and she wouldn't show it, like almost like treason, almost like she refused to back up an American base over in Benghazi, and there was emails to prove it, and she blocked it, like she wouldn't show it or nothing.
Macho, what difference does it make at this point?
It doesn't.
That's exactly what she said. That's literally what she said.
Yeah. So I have Macho. You're a Republican, right?
I'm not. I vote what suits me at that certain time.
Okay.
Wow. So you're a Trump supporter.
I think I excelled.
I'm blocking you.
No,
I'm
that's
only
fine.
I'm only kidding.
No, that's fine. But because the thing is, Trump supporters are the people who went over there on Washington and stuff. Those are Trump supporters.
No, I mean,
I think those are Trump supporters. I think if you read certain policies that benefit you, then you vote for him.
We're loyal. No, I'm just a loyal Republican.
You're a loyal. Since when have you been voting Republican? Since when?
I've been voting Republican since forever. I mean,
I think Trump made you a Republican, right?
No, that's not true.
Trump made a lot of
No,
African
my family.
Americans and
No,
Hispanic
no, no.
Americans
My family
Republican
has
that
been
used to
my
vote
family.
Democrat.
My family has been Republican for since the beginning of time. My family
Beginning of
most
time, what, since 610
Wow.
BC?
no, since they first came to America, because they were always upper middle class.
All
So
right. So when did your
hold
family
on,
come to America, Eddie?
let me
When
finish.
did your family come to America?
Let me finish. Let me finish. So my family has always been upper middle class. So Republican candidates, what their policies has always benefited them more.
So your parents voted for Bush?
No. Oh yes, they did. They did.
They voted for Reagan?
No. Well, I don't know that far. I know they
Oh
voted
my
for Bush.
God, it's not that far.
Well, I wasn't around during that time. I don't remember.
Okay. So the only Republicans you really know is Bush or the Bushes.
Yeah, and the Republicans that been, I mean, there's always been a Republican and Democrat candidate, even at the Bush.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. All right. All right. I mean, okay. I mean, I think this is the first time where the Democratic Party really sunk. Like Democratic Party, I think for the last, I'd say
And
30 years have
and
been kind of.
non-black people, non-black Americans have been voting Republican even before it was a cool thing.
No, I know, I know. I mean, the Republican Party used to be a black party back then. I
No,
think.
but no, I'm talking about specifically non-black Americans.
I think it depends, because I have the impression that that's a conversation I would like to have later on with Dominicans from the U.S.
Yeah.
It's like when you live in New York,
Yeah,
you're
it's Democrat. You're Democrat.
you go to
I live in Long Island. Long Island.
Maryland, all that stuff, you become a Republican. That's something I truly want to know.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the first times where I've really been on the fence. I don't really know. I don't want to say my allegiance, but
No, you don't have to. And
I
I live in Europe, and like in the Dominican Republic, you can have your own political views. It's not like in the US that if you are a Democrat, they shun the Republicans, and the Republicans shun the Democrats. It's not. It's like you are entitled to your own ideology. You can vote for whoever you want to, and here you have more political parties. We have political parties to the extreme. That's why it's so hard to take some decisions sometimes. But it's like there are more. There are more compromises, more debates, more. You sit on a table with different kind of people with different thoughts. In the U.S., everything is truly polarized: Democrats, Republicans, white, black, whatever. It's like the North and the South, this and that. So you don't have to feel attacked, or you don't have to feel that you have to justify your election or your ideology for me. And I don't think for anyone, or the majority of people that watch this YouTube channel. So you go ahead. If you vote for a pink man, you go ahead. That's your ideology. That's your right. But that's something that awakens my curiosity. How come that Dominicans in
I can answer that question for you.
Por favor.
The thing is that New York is a blue state. Most northeast states are blue, basically Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of promotes this kind of workman class, type of attitude, blue collar type of mentality, and the people at the bottom, which are mostly African Americans and Hispanic people in America. So they kind of relate to that party, the Democratic Party, because it's supposed to be kind of this people's party.
Mm.
But over the years, as we've seen, I would say probably in this past decade, we've seen the Democratic Party kind of you taking out vote for advantage and not really pandering to our needs and just expecting our vote just because of the history, because we voted for that party for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I think everything that's been revealed in the past 5 or 6 years has made those loyal Democrats, usually at the bottom, kind of think like, I mean, are we being taken for granted?
Mm-hmm.
Should we switch parties just to show the Democratic Party that you're going to lose votes if you're not working, towards us? So it's a good tactic because it kind of forces that party to kind of scramble and try to cater to you a little more instead of just expecting your vote. So I think that's what happened during this presidency with Trump. Trump spoke to a lot of Americans because, you know, Trump, what he basically is, he's a symbol of America. Like every American has a bit of Trump in them, you know, whether they like it or not. You know, we're arrogant, we think we know everything, we love money, we're brash, misogynist to some sense. You know, it's like he embodies what America really is, you know. But I think that's what happened with the Democratic vote between Dominicans and New York. They started thinking, we've been taking advantage for so long, I don't see any changes. Let me switch to the other side to see what happens. So I think that's what happened.
But can I put some context to that? Because like I feel like just because New York City votes Democrat, that we think of all New York vote Democrat. Only New York City votes Democrat. If you look at upstate, so if you talk to Dominicans upstate and Dominicans on Long Island, they mostly all vote Republican.
Yeah, but that's new. That's a new sensation. That's a new sensation.
It's not new.
They haven't been voting Republican since the 90s.
Let me finish. Long Island has always been a Republican. Upstate has always been a Republican. Always.
Well, Long Island is Republican. I think you had that guy, Peter King, was your congressman from Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
He was super racist.
Okay. But the argument was that and I'm from Long Island, so the Dominicans from upstate and Dominicans and Black people who live upstate in Long Island, they usually vote Republican.
Albany's upstate, right?
Yeah, Albany is upstate.
Okay.
So what's funny is in New York City, it's like nearly impossible to get a gun. But once you get out of the city,
Long Island, we have guns.
you can get a shotgun like that easy.
Oh, why? Why? Ban.
Yeah, you can't have ammunition in New York because people shoot each other.
New York City.
New York City. Yeah, you can't get a gun easy in New York City because, you know, people shoot each other over a traffic ticket. So that's why you have to ban it, because New York temper is too much.
Yeah, but they got the guns
the level
anyway.
of violence. Yeah.
Well, they do, but I think
there's a shooting like every week.
Well, now I think even now, because of the whole thing, you know, you have these kids, they're not working, they're outside, they're bored, they're gonna start shooting at each other.
No, even before COVID, because I would look at the crime and stuff. There would be a shooting if you ask like doctors and stuff, they'll tell you there's shootings all the time.
Yeah.
And the
reason gun laws don't do anything.
The reason Morena said New York City state makes it blue, it's like, no, it doesn't. What happens is that the majority of Americans, New York City.
Yeah, but it's a blue state though. It's still a blue state.
I'm not finished. But the majority of people who live in New York City, in New York, they live in New York City. Mind you, a lot of people who live in New York City are not even originally from New York City. So we can't even take their vote serious. They're coming from different states.
That's not true, Eddie. That's not true.
Let me finish. Yeah, that is true.
It's not true.
If you talk to a New York City...
But what about the people who are old there, Eddie? The people who are like 60, 70, 80, 90, they've been in New York all their lives.
They live in Long Island and upstate. The majority of the
people... That's not true. You still have people in the Bronx that are old there. Washington Heights.
The majority. And those people don't really vote.
Yes, they do. They don't. How are you going to...
Guys,
I live in New York City. How are you? New York, how you telling
me?
You're
generalizing too much, though. You're generalizing.
Okay.
Some do, some don't.
Okay,
the ones that are like really new, they don't vote. But the ones that have been here, they vote.
Sorry, termina tu frase. Sorry.
I was just saying, like, Dominicans who just got here, they probably don't vote. Dominicans who have been here for like 10 years or something, they probably vote.
Okay. All right. No, but that's to me that has always been very curious.
Yeah, like, you know, like I live in I'm from a Dominican community, mostly Dominican immigrant community in Washington Heights. I'm from there, and most of the people there vote Democrat blindly. Like
exactly.
They don't research.
Yeah, no,
they don't do anything. It's like, oh, the Democrat, boom.
That's how your environment influences you. I have that experience here as well in Belgium. I remember the first time I had to vote, or the second time, and I will never forget this. It's a Cuban guy. You know, he Morena, he's Cuban. I thought he was Dominican when we were younger, but he knows how to code switch because there aren't many Cubans, or there weren't many Cubans now here in Belgium. And he was like, yeah, who should I vote for? He was asking me and my mom. I remember.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you have to choose. Yeah, but who? And then I explained different things. Those are the ones that run our taxes. Those are the ones that implemented this and this and that. And it was like, okay, I'm going to vote for that. You, for which party do you vote? I said, I vote for that and that and that party. Okay, I will vote for the same people. And then I received SMS, and some people like, who should I vote for? Okay, I will vote for that and that. For real, I swear to God, I swear to God.
Yeah, some Dominicans do that.
Yes, like, oh, okay, the elections, because if you don't go vote here, you get a fine. You get the fine, so we are obliged to vote.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, who? Tell me who. They don't care. They don't know. And I remember a sister of a former friend of mine. She was in the politics, and I said, vote for her. Vote for her.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's another topic, but it's so funny. It's like, okay, they don't know and they don't care because they all have. I also have the mentality more or less like whoever wins here, our life will continue to be more or less the same. So,
basically,
because it's the system. What guys? To come back to the original topic, what do you think? I know that something here while you much was speaking. You were speaking. Sorry. Maybe aren't we losing the big picture in the sense of maybe they banned Trump specifically because they know Biden won and they want to, lamberle a esa administración. How would I
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it might have to do with the smooth transition. They want a smooth transition to office. So
maybe that's the reason they want to be in the good light with the new administration. Maybe
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
So I just looked it up. So there's 18 million people who live in New York City, and only 2 million people voted.
Oh, that's nothing. Only 2 million.
Well, it was the mail-in ballots this time. So I mean, those numbers aren't accurate.
Those are people who voted.
Okay.
And that's sad.
You're right. Only with mail-in ballots, it says only 4.9 people voted.
Yeah, you see, but it's sad. I think more people should be voting though. That's way too low.
I just wanted to say that.
No, that's great. That's great. I mean, that was you were correct in that sense. A lot of people don't vote.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that Dominicans vote Democrat is because it's very simple. When Dominicans get here, they usually, and nowadays it's kind of different. Nowadays they're coming with like degrees and they're like ready to work and they're like, but before, people would come here with like, a couple dollars, a couple $100 or something like that. And they would need like government help to like get them off their feet. So like that's one of the reasons why Dominicans vote for Democrats, because the Democrats push for like government stuff to like help people. But
that is very true. That's very true what you're saying, because in the 90s.
I still don't think because I looked it up. I looked at this one too, and it says there's only 1.1 million Dominicans in New York City. So do we think that
All right, you got jokes, Eddie? Well, finish the joke. You're halfway there. Keep going.
There's only 1.1 million, not including people who are as of age to vote. I don't think that was the majority of the people who voted. I still think
of course not. We're talking about how we vote. The majority of Dominicans that vote, what do they vote, Democrat or Republican?
Yeah, like in the community.
In New York City, yeah, I agree with you.
Guys, I think that Crazy Boy made an interesting comment. Logical thinking Black Americans and Latinos are a danger to the Democrats. I think that he's right. I sound like a Democrat like a Republican, but if I would live in the U.S., I know I would be a Democrat. I actually am more a Democrat than a Republican.
Yeah, Black Americans are not in danger to the Democrats. And now it's the Latino vote that is going to be more important, especially in the next 4 years. Black votes don't matter anymore.
No, because the Hispanic population is growing so fast in the U.S. So yeah, but I think, yes, what Macho says is something that I been seeing and thinking and saying. It's like the Democrats take the minority votes for granted.
Why do you think all the Democrats candidates who are running for president know Spanish? they were debating and then talking in Spanish. There's a reason.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, they have to cater to us somehow. But I mean, for me, just because someone speaks Spanish, they're not getting my vote. I need to see what the tax laws are. I need to see what the foreign policy thing is, infrastructure. Like, I don't really care if you speak Spanish.
You're educated in politics. Most Americans are not.
It's so difficult in the U.S. You only have two parties, and you can only choose one and not another.
We don't have two parties. There was you could have voted. No, Americans could have voted independent, or they could have voted for a private candidate, or the Green Party. So we have multiple parties.
But they usually get shut down after a while.
You know who shuts them down? The people, because they're still on the ballot. People still could have voted for them.
Yeah, it's because people are worried that like the person they don't like is gonna win, so they just vote against like who they really. If they want to vote independent, they just save their vote and vote for the person they would rather win.
That's the reason we never get a candidate. That's the reason why we never get a good candidate, because they know we're going to either vote Democrat or Republican.
Yeah.
Everybody would start voting for other people. It's like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, but the thing is that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have a lot of money.
Well,
power,
Macho, I'm actually this. Do you know the person who was running for independent?
For this ballot?
Yep.
No.
Do you know the person who was running for the Green Party?
No.
See, that's the problem. We're not educated, and so there is different parties. We could have researched that person. We could have asked that person, "Oh, what are you going to do for us?" We chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the exposure. Exposure costs a lot of money.
They had exposure.
But I don't know them, and actually,
yeah, exactly. If I don't know them, they didn't get enough exposure.
But you were able to
not
look
everyone
at the
gets
ballot.
the same exposure.
But you were able to. No. We're not gonna like play like. We're not gonna just allow like. We're grown adults, right? If we can research little things like math problems and stuff.
Yeah, but Eddie, you're talking about politics. You're talking about politics.
But we should reach it, because what we Google, the stupid stuff that we Google, politics are more important than the little things that we Google. So why are we not Googling all the candidates?
Well, Eddie, I gotta tell you something. Politics is like a product. Your candidate is like a product. If they're not in the front shelf of Walmart, most likely you're not gonna buy it.
And that's why y'all keep buying shit.
You have to pay money to be really visible.
Exposure, then you don't know this. For instance, this pen would be very insignificant.
All right, so let's just say that.
Nobody knows this. Here, this pen doesn't even need the publicity because it's so popular here.
Let's go by your ideology. Right?
It's so cheap, everybody has it. But in the US, this would need some exposure. So those other parties have so much power.
Let's go back.
That it's easier to know them. So
let's go to your exposure. So the Democratic candidates who were running for president, right? Joe Biden had the least exposure. Nobody even knew who he was. And he still got picked to be
because people wanted Trump out of there. People voted for Biden to get Trump out of there. That's why.
You see, you cannot do that because your argument was exposure. There were a whole bunch of candidates who got more exposure than Joe Biden when it comes down to picking.
Yeah, but you're still voting red or blue.
Let me finish. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Let me finish, and you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about when we get to choose who's going to be the Democrat candidate to run against Trump. Joe Biden had the least exposure. Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders are all people who had more exposure than Joe Biden, and Joe Biden still got in office.
Well, because Joe Biden has political clout.
You see, y'all keep shows. You keep changing the goalposts.
Yeah, but Biden has political clout, man. He's been
No,
in
he
politics since
so
the
does
80s.
Kamala Harris. Those
He
are
came
all
out. He came out with
politicians.
the 80s crime bill, man.
But
Like,
Yeah.
that dude is like, he has a lot of political
But so did
power.
Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has way more political power when it comes down to Senate.
No, because the thing is, Bernie has been kind of an outcast of the Democratic Party.
Exactly.
Really
I agree with you. Joe Biden was the most famous. I know Biden.
No, he was not famous. He was not.
He was the vice president under Obama.
Listen, when Obama, let me tell you something. People didn't even know. Young kids didn't even know. No, I'm talking about the people who came out and voted right now and turned out to vote. A lot of people didn't even know that Obama had a vice. Joe Biden was.
Who knows? Who knows?
Before Obama, he existed. Before Obama, he was already kind of.
Y'all are not being honest. Y'all not.
No.
I don't remember Joe Biden.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do. When he was with Obama, you don't remember?
I remember. I know about Bernie Sanders. I know about Pete Buttigieg. I know about Kamala Harris. I know about them more than I know about Joe Biden.
But the thing is that for the Democratic Party, they were saying when Obama's time is up, it was going to be Joe Biden that was going to.
No, it was not. They gave Hillary. If that was the case, he would have ran when Hillary was running.
Well, I guess Hillary's out, so Biden's next.
Listen, y'all moving the goalposts. You know,
we're not moving the
goalposts. I think you're both right. I think
no. When you talking about the exposure piece of it, when it comes down to all the people
who had more exposure, Trump or Biden?
I'm not talking about you. Well, you know, Trump. When it comes down to exposure, it was Trump, whether it's bad or good. Joe Biden had no exposure, and that proves my point again. Exposure doesn't choose the president. It's up to the people to research, because only the smart people are paying attention.
But we were talking about we were talking about independent parties, not about the red and blue parties. We're talking about there's other political parties for you to vote for. But you proved my point, though, Eddie.
No, I didn't prove your point. You said that's exposure, bro. And
yeah, but those independent parties don't have the money in order to compete with the red and blue parties. They don't have enough money.
Neither did Joe Biden, but Trump made more money than him, and he still didn't get in office. So, and he had more exposure than him. So what do you talk about?
Well, the thing, a lot of people hate Trump, so that's why I think he lost.
So now it has to be.
But if you look at this, Eddie. I think he's going to be our first president that's only going to do 4 years since I think Clinton. I think Clinton only did what? Did he do 2 years?
Clinton did 8. He did 8.
So yeah, I mean, since Nixon. I think Nixon didn't finish his term. He got impeached. So Trump is probably be our first 4-year president since. You know, usually they do 8, and he got out of there because of everything that's gone on. I mean, he's rubbed a lot of people wrong. You know, he's he stirred up the drink, man. He's polarizing. So you're either gonna love him or you're gonna hate him.
Morena, you're totally right. She said he was as vocal as the current VP. He did not speak not one time at that speech. They slaughtered him. Even Tulsi Gabbard slaughtered him, and they still chose him because he had no exposure. They were all popular than him. When it comes down to the popular vote, he was all at the bottom.
Yeah, Biden's kind of like the most boring candidate ever for the Democratic Party.
So how are we saying that he had that this fight is about?
No, because the thing is, that's apples and oranges. What we're talking about, because we're talking about independent parties having a chance.
Yes, but you're saying
that's why it's apples and oranges. That argument.
My argument,
whoever wins, that's just I don't know. That's something up there. But I'm talking about independent parties having a chance to compete for the presidency.
Yeah, but the reason why Joe Biden and those people were able to get into office without exposure is because people researched them.
But stop talking about Joe Biden. He was in the Democratic Party. Talk about the Green Party.
No, because people researched them.
Those guys. Do you know their names?
And which ones?
The one for the Green Party. What's their name?
I know her first name is Adriana. The second, the one who was independent was Kanye West.
Oh my God! All right,
you didn't know that?
Argument died. Come on, we all know that. No one took him seriously. Come on.
It does not.
Morena said Yan Bang, I guess. Yan, the Asian 4 years ago, I saw a couple of YouTube videos of him who wanted to introduce a minimum wage, something like that, something like in
The
Scandinavia.
freedom dividend.
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
And
Us on the
I
right
thought
were
he would be
fans
running
of
for
him.
president, but he didn't. I was like, yeah, an Asian American, that would be
He
cool.
was running for president.
Yeah, Andrew Yang. Yeah, he was.
He did.
He was running. Yes, he did.
I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
he was
This is
running.
how y'all know. This is how I know when it comes down to debates and stuff. Y'all don't care who's really voting. Y'all just want to see the drama.
Truly, he did. He truly got a chance.
No,
to.
we
Yes.
don't. I don't vote off of drama.
Yeah, he
Yes,
ran.
y'all do. That's
He even
the
had
reason.
he even
why
had
this
his
was
own
the
hat.
He
It
was
said math
You know,
on it.
because he came up with the whole thing of like
But
universal
he
kind
got,
of
like,
income.
He was
came up
more.
with-
You know what happened is because you were probably only focused on Joe Biden, not the other candidate.
No, universal income.
Of course not.
So
I focus on a global thing. I don't live in the US, so that's not my business. I just
Yeah.
focus on the global thing.
So you being global,
I'm
what do
not
you
passionate about politics and I want this guy to win and everything. I just watch it from the outside and I analyze stuff, but I don't know. That's not my fight. I don't live there.
how do most Dominicans vote in Belgium? Like, what party do they usually vote for?
Socialist.
Social. So it's almost like democratic in the US.
Yeah, but you're democratic. It's nothing. It's socialist in compared to us. You know, like it's nothing.
But it's still like that party that's supposed to represent like the people.
That would be more Democrat. Yes. Dominicans or minorities vote more socialist. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
Sorry,
across the board
I
for
wanna.
socioeconomic class?
Yes, it has to do also with the social economic class, but also some or many, Belgian people, originally, white Belgian people, from the middle class, vote socialist. The thing is, we cannot only vote for one party. We can choose. We can choose. So I choose. I vote personally liberal and socialist. I'm a liberal.
Yes.
With the social corrections.
Okay.
So
it depends on which level that you vote, locally, regionally, or federal, national level. So it depends.
I just want to say that. I want to say that. I want to apologize. I made a mistake. It wasn't for the Green Party. It was Joe Jorgensen. But I also want to say that we do have more parties than we think. We have the Democrat, the Republican, the Libertarian, which I totally forgot, the Green Party, and the Constitution. Like, so we have these parties.
Yeah, but not as powerful. You want at least 5 at the equal footing.
Hold on. I just want to. But the argument before was that we didn't have a lot of parties, even though we did. I'm just trying to put that.
But I'm saying, like,
no, you know why they're not as important? Because we don't make them important. The people make them important.
Oh my God! You know what it is also too is the corporations who they put their money into. Because if you're running, the corporations say, "Oh, we like this guy. Oh, definitely, you're definitely gonna get that money." But they usually tend to go with those two because the either win or lose, they still win.
But corporations didn't put money into Joe Biden. They actually didn't.
They did. They did. Joe Biden's biggest contributor is Bloomberg.
Is that a corporation or a person?
Both.
Both.
Dominican Renaissance, be real. Because when you talk about corporations, we're talking about like the Targets, the Macy's, those people. You know they did not vote for Joe Biden and want him in office.
I think they do.
No, they put money into other candidates.
They put into both. That's what they do. Like Lehman Sachs.
I'm talking about
Lehman Brothers, Citicorp, JP Morgan.
I'm talking about when we did
Facebook. All those big companies put it on both, so they could win.
I'm talking about when we did when we did the what do you call the mid elections, the midterms.
Yes.
Those elections, when it came down to voting for a Democrat candidate to be the leader to run in primaries, they did not invest any money into Joe Biden. That's why
it was.
That's
it was.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, it actually was like the company, like the media company Bloomberg. That was his top contributor.
Yeah, you could look it up. Usually they
I'm
have
looking
on
it up.
top contributors
I'm looking it up
to
right now.
political
I
parties, and
looked
it's
it up
usually
because
the
I
top
wanted
10
to know.
companies in the U.S.
I wanted to know who was really going to be the president, so I looked it up a while ago.
Who
You
else?
know,
What other big companies contributed to him?
you can look it up right now. I mean, I don't, but I definitely know that when Obama was running for president, all of Wall Street put their money behind Obama.
Yeah, but Obama is not Joe Biden.
I mean, he's not, but they come from the same school.
No, but they don't. No, but it's not the same thing
How
because
is not the same
they
thing?
have different ideologies.
Yeah, a little bit, but they both are under the same circles. They're basically Obama and Biden are the Democratic Party right now because I think Hillary took a big hit. So I think right now Obama and Biden are like the Democratic Party right now.
I don't think so. I don't.
I think it is Joe Biden because Bernie is Bernie is like out of the freaking
Yeah.
people don't even think about Bernie right now
Yeah,
or
but we
Elizabeth
did.
Warren or
But no. People were People were running. There was a lot of young kids who wanted Bernie Sanders in office, and a lot of people
We
who
know why a lot of young kids like Bernie Sanders because they don't have any responsibilities. That's why. And they know they're going to school. They're going to acquire debt. They want the debt, kind of written off. Free healthcare, so that's why young people are attracted to that because of the free aspect.
There was a lot of
So
people who were
he exploits that, and that's why you have rappers with him in his in his rallies or whatever. So he's exploiting kind of a young person's naiveness of the world.
Right.
They want those voters. Every vote counts. So they're doing their. So Lily Haynes said they're doing their job.
Okay, so what I was basically saying is that other people who were running during the midterm elections, they had a different batch of voters who didn't really care about Joe Biden. Joe Biden didn't have a big.
Yeah. I think AOC says she didn't support Biden. I think
No, she didn't.
Bernie doesn't support Biden.
The only reason why he got a huge support afterwards.
And I think Kamala said called him a racist or something like that. Kamala Harris.
The only reason why he had a big following and got all these contributions is because he was the only person in the Democratic Party who
could defeat Trump. Who
was on a primary list.
No, but who could defeat Trump? Who could defeat Trump? Like just talking crap to him.
Kamala Harris would have won.
No way. Trump would have embarrassed him.
He wouldn't have because one, if you would have embarrassed a black woman during this comment, he would have been torched.
Oh, so Kamala's black? I thought she was Jamaican.
We're not going to question. Hold on,
She's Jamaican and Indian. She's not black.
Listen what I'm saying.
Let's be technical here.
No, please. but America is not technical. She's considered a black woman.
She's not African American. Okay. She's not African American.
She's Indian. Come on.
Okay.
She's Indian and Jamaican.
You know what? But the majority
she's
of
a woman who has
consider her black. Do they not?
Doesn't make her black.
Do they not? Do the majority of Americans consider?
I don't care what the majority is.
But the majority.
I don't care about that.
The majority of Americans are voting, not you.
But it don't matter.
Your opinion doesn't make the majority.
You're moving the goalposts now.
Many white supremacists think that black people are stupid thieves, that black people are stupid thieves. So judging yourself by what other people say, come on, that's not very intelligent. It's not because Americans now say that Kamala Harris is black African American. It's that she is. She became black for political reasons. So she's an OG. She's a true politician.
Yeah. She's a true politician. That's true.
Politician. She knows how to play the games.
But America still considers her black.
But you don't, Eddie. You don't. Because if she gets you mad, you're gonna call her. Oh, this Indian. Right? This Indian freaking shit. You'll call her that.
We do not live in reality here, and this is why we're fooled. Because she's a VP right now because she's a black woman. That's why.
The race card.
The race card. But
she's born as a black woman. So for y'all to say she's not black,
you can't pick and choose when you're black now, Eddie. That's not right.
Did I say? Hold on.
You're picking and choosing.
You're twisting my words now, and you're over talking me. And
her mom cooks curry. She cooks curry chicken.
It doesn't matter. All right. So, Macho, if I was walking down the street, you would consider me a black person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
different. But you don't look like Kamala. Come on, and her culture as well.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
if I were to be in the United States of America, I would think that I am Black American. I would say, no, I'm not. I'm Dominican.
But at the end of the day,
don't
hold
look
on,
like it.
hold on, wait. Let me say this. Okay, is she a VP right now to us Americans? Is she labeled under as a Black woman, or is she considered an Asian vice president?
Asian vice president.
No, she's not.
No, she's
not
not,
to
man.
you, to
Come on.
America.
Let's not discuss race.
No, is she considered to as a VP?
All right. If you consider Eddie, let's just cut it short. If you consider her Black, that's fine. You could consider her Black. That's fine. That's fine. I don't want to talk about race.
She played, yeah, me too. But we all
because it doesn't fit your narrative, and y'all know I'm about to prove y'all wrong, but it's fine.
no, Eddie, you're not proving anyone wrong. We respect your opinion, but it's not because
we'll agree to disagree.
Sorry.
No, because it's the truth. If you look at
that's not the truth.
how about Google
America,
Google the first.
That's logic.
Google it right
America's views on race are not exactly intelligent.
exactly
So-
Dominican Renaissance.
So when they look at her, a lot of people just say a lot of people are not even really looking at her features. You know what I mean? And like the media uses that to their advantage. Also, they
Thank
try
God.
to say that she's Black
And
to make her
used
seem.
She used that for political
I
reasons.
know, guys. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying.
they
I'm
also
not.
like.
I mean, she went to Howard or something like that,
But
right?
they
She went
but
to
the
an
media
HBCU.
plays into it.
She went to an HSB, but at the same time, her mom is Indian though, so
Yeah, she looks Indian as heck, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, America is,
she eats with a lot of spices. She's dinner with a lot of spices
Curry,
in food.
tandoori, and masala.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
but-
Indian food.
But right now, if you Google the first Black VP, she'll come up.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So they won.
yeah.
listen, they called Obama Black.
I applaud that.
They
Because she played the game. I applaud that because she played the game. She's a politician.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
Yes.
I'm not saying specifically that I'm saying she's Black. I'm talking about from now America's point of view, because I don't, Macho. We already spoke about this before, and I spoke to it with Paula too. But we're talking about reality here.
I get you now. So
All right, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like
okay,
same
I don't
thing with
consider her
Obama.
Black either.
If it makes you feel
Obama's-
better, Eddie, you're right. Okay.
Obama's
No,
not
no.
Black, but they call him Black.
Okay, that she's considered Black in America, and that's what you mean. And okay, now that you personally think that, okay, we could have.
I don't even consider myself Black.
Okay, so I think going forward in the political landscape of the United States, as far as Latino candidates for presidency, I think that's something that's going to come up in the next 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
You know, one guy I had my eye on as far as being president is George Bush Jr. You know George Bush. No, Jeb Bush is married to a Mexican, and his son is George Bush. The second or the third, and he's half Hispanic, half white, and he's a Bush. So I always felt like he was going to run for president. So just watch for that name.
Oh, so you're
This decade.
gonna vote for him because he's Mexican?
Do we have to make this race? Didn't we
You
just
just
talk
did.
about that? You just
just
attacked me
did.
right now. You
You just did. You didn't give me none of his political views. You just said because he's Mexican.
No,
I didn't even know.
I didn't even say I was gonna vote for him. I said watch out for a name.
Okay, I'll watch out. I'll watch out for the person who is.
And he's a Bush. He's a Bush. He's half Mexican, half white.
I'll look out with the person who has the best agenda for me.
Well, no, as you should. But I'm saying just watch for that name for the Republican Party in the next 10 years for, as a Hispanic or a half Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, running for the presidency. I think that's one name you have to remember. I think it will happen this decade.
No,
You have anything to say,
I never
Eddie?
even heard of the guy. I didn't
Yeah,
even
look
know
him
he was
up. Look
half
him up,
Mexican.
DR, right?
Because
Jeb
people are
Bush,
so
Jeb
racist
Bush
here.
from Florida. Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida, and he's married to a Mexican. So all his kids are like half white, half Mexican.
I think someone like Marco Rubio
I don't like
would
Marco
make
Rubio.
more sense.
I don't like Marco Rubio at all.
Nobody likes Bush. Nobody likes Bush.
Well, but the thing is, look. After Trump, a lot of people like Bush.
I don't think.
Remember Bush? From I think he started in 2000. those 8 years, you know, he was considered probably our worst president at the time. I mean, in modern history, U.S. history. But as time went on with Obama, and then of course Trump and everything that's gone on, some Republicans actually think Bush was a good president.
Nah, bro, I'm deep in that, bro. I've been conservative since I was like 13, bro. That is not that. Maybe that's what they want you to think, but nobody here likes Bush.
They don't.
Nobody on this side likes
And
Bush.
the Republican Party?
Even Republicans.
Half of the
No.
half
So
of the
what type of
people,
Republican are you? What type of
half of-
Republican are you?
I'm not. I've never been a Republican. I'm a conservative.
Oh, conservative. Okay.
I've never in my life. But here's the thing.
Allegedly.
Even the people who are on like my side politically, they don't even like Trump.
But
But
you're
for different reasons.
Yeah, but I just mentioned that the Republican Party
You're
or slash conservative,
But not the
doesn't
reasons
like
that-
Trump.
Yeah, but not the reasons that you think. They don't like him for different reasons.
They don't like him because he wasn't part of the grand old party though. He was like an outside person. That's why they don't like him.
No, they
Hold
don't
on.
like him because he wasn't outside enough.
Dominican Renaissance. Because conservative is not a party, it's an ideology.
It's
So
it's morals and values and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
you're a conservative what?
I'm just a
Conservative liberal,
conservative.
conservative Dominican, conservative Republican.
Conservative.
You trying to you
Conservative.
know
When we're talking about America, conservative.
you're joking around.
When we talk about America, I would argue with my Dominican teacher about like stuff that Obama was doing during class.
Yeah, but that's not but then so you're a conservative Republican?
No, I'm not a Republican whatsoever.
Also, you're conservative
Like at all.
you're a conservative American, so you don't want like anybody who's trying to take away from American values.
Yeah, conserving America.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I get you now. I wasn't trolling. I was legitly asking.
No, that's fine.
Morena,
but,
you
yeah.
say that. Do you believe that if the right Latino runs for president, the majority of Latinos will vote for the president? Who is the right Latino?
It has to be the right one.
Who? Mexican one.
AOC?
You'll be a Mexican first.
AOC?
You never know. You
What,
never
AOC for president? No, I don't like AOC.
No, but yeah, don't sleep on her because if she gets in that position,
I
she can
wouldn't
win.
want her as president.
You know she can.
I think she lacks couth. You know, she lacks couth to be president. I think she speaks a little bit too boisterous.
She's too progressive.
She looks a little bit too, uneducated sometimes. I don't think that she's going to be a strong Latino candidate for Congress.
But she's already in Congress.
Well, what's her position?
She's a congresswoman. So we talk about president.
Oh, presidency. Yeah. I don't think she's going to go for the presidency.
I don't
You
think
never
she
know.
will even run.
I don't think she's qualified for that.
Don't sit on her.
I mean,
No,
it could
I
happen,
think Kim Kardashian has a
but
better chance.
it's unlikely.
Don't sit on her because she has a lot of power.
To come back
I
to
think
the
Kim
original
Kardashian has a better chance.
topic. Guys, to come back to the original topic before I go to sleep, what do you think about what the Minister of Justice of Poland is doing? They're preparing a law to ban social media from blocking users.
Yes.
So
Yes.
do you hear that? The aim of that law is actually to make internet users, to make us feel that our rights are protected, to feel safe, and to feel that we can exercise our freedom of speech and ensure that our messages cannot be arbitrarily deleted by the social media or online platforms. So if they call it censorship by algorithm or something like that, and if that proposal passes, of course, this proposal is a reaction to the social media ban that Donald Trump had, of course. But if that proposal passes, those tech social media companies could not be allowed anymore to delete our comments or block our account. So
we gotta be careful. I'm ready for it because I don't really care about like if somebody says something racist online, but that protects racists too online, and I'm fine with that as long as I have a freedom of speech.
Okay, they want to go very, very far. For example, if a user message gets deleted or the blog gets blocked or suspended, whatever, that person, that user, could file a complaint with the company. They could file a complaint, and everything will be online. They will want to create a sort of online
Doxing system.
court, yes, and they have to answer in 48 hours, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah.
they should.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
they should pay them for taking down their accounts. Because this affects a lot of people's business, and I give you a perfect example. When Black Lives Matter had that their moment of time when they were canceling people just because they supported like a Christian foundation or things like that, and so many people like reported that page that it got taken down. And it's just like, just because they're affiliated with somebody, like stuff like that is not okay. So those people should be paid, should get a lump sum of money if the website doesn't want them on.
All right.
You don't think so?
I like Poland.
Well,
Sorry?
I like Poland.
You like Poland?
Yeah, I like Poland.
You're like, well, it's possible. Poland.
What does that mean?
That's wrong, East Europe is very different. They are very.
Poland is like, yo, we're not taking any migrants, and they have like 0 terrorist attacks.
Yeah, because okay, no, I see now. Yeah, Bloodman says a lot of racist people using social media. I'm for some censorship. Yes, again, freedom of speech is not absolute, and I am against hate speeches and the proliferation of hate speeches and all that stuff. But we should come to a balance, because some people can have a kind of softer or not explicit hate speech, or maybe it's just their ideology. But when is a hate speech a hate speech?
Yeah, it's.
For example, in my case, I do not believe,
because hate speech is a very general statement.
Yeah, like gender fluid, cis women, and all that stuff. To me, it's like you can identify how you want to, but the trans woman is not a woman. I'm not a cis woman. I'm a woman. Yeah. So I respect you, but you have your own space.
Yes.
And you are entitled to that space, and you are not. What's that?
You said you're not a cis.
You were as worthy. You're not less worthy because of you're as worthy as everyone, but you just belong to a different space, not in the women's space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just think too, people have to develop thicker skin. I think we're very sensitive in these times, and people are throw up their arms for every little comment that's said, and that's why I think sometimes that's why going back and forth banter is sometimes good, and in spaces like this, where you could joke on someone and really rib them and see how they take it. It's kind of a good measure of where our society is, because if we censor everything, then you're not able to say anything that way.
Exactly. For example, me and my sister were messaging to each other again, like you know how you speak to your sisters and when you're Dominicans and all that stuff, and I'm like her, moi, ben betroche, un beso en ese hocico de puerco. I'm telling her, if other people of other nationalities or people that are not truly Dominicans or into Dominican culture would read my message that I sent to my sister, they would say, oh my gosh, that's so racist, or that's so discriminating, or whatever. So
yes, you have to watch what you say now.
You have to watch what you say. If they would read the messages that my sister sends me, and I send her, that intra-familiar discrimination, racism on the base of hair color and lip size, so yes, yeah, I have to say thank you. So yeah, that's the thing. I think that you cannot say everything or anything you want to, especially when you have a certain position of power.
Yeah.
Especially when you are a president or whoever, with power, of course. However, they cannot silence you or censor you. all over, because something that you say, even if they could be very crazy, might have some truth, or some people are entitled want to hear them, or are entitled to hear them.
You know, it's crazy because you gotta think of the dictators of the past. Let's say Trujillo. He would be able to say whatever he wanted, but he controlled the papers. He controlled the media.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different with Trump. He doesn't have that control. So yeah, he's under the mercy of the private companies.
Yeah. Other platforms will be created. There was a platform that increased with 6 million people in one day. Gap or something? I don't remember. Where all the Trump supporters and many conservatives went there. But I'm sure that many Democrats, let's say I'm a Democrat in the U.S., I would say, hey, I also want to know and hear what those other people want to say. And although I'm a liberal, I do not agree with this agenda. People should be heard. No one should be censored. But of course, I do believe actually that they censored Donald Trump to start, new lives on good terms with the new administration, because Trump had been doing this kind of stuff for years, and they didn't do anything. So
that is true. I'm thinking
political move, because come on, they're not coming now with this high morality about.
You know what's crazy? I think Trump has been through the most of any president. Think about when he came in; he was supposed to be impeached. Think about the whole thing with the coronavirus. Just everything. Like, it's been a very tumultuous 4 years for Trump. Like, what president really could handle that type of pressure? There's a lot of freaking pressure these past 4 years that I've never seen any president really go through. So it was eventful. Wednesday is his last time. I'm waiting to see the season finale of the Trump presidency on Wednesday. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I don't think it's going to end here. I think Trump is going to branch out.
You know what? He has to let it go, though.
Yeah, I think he's going to start his own channel. It's going to be Trump TV with his loyal supporters. He's going to create his own kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Trump party, like a party, just a Trump party. So just keep an eye on. I think he's going to get more powerful after the presidency.
His children should run for Congress and a mayor and senator in Florida and Republican states. Like Ivanka.
I don't think they want to run.
No, but they could, and they can win too.
I don't even know what to think of that, because like a lot of conservatives are just like, the Republican Party doesn't work. It's like it's broken. It's like, why even bother? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's still a position of power, you know?
Nah, bro. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people who still like, like view it as like a legitimate party, but I don't know. I'm just like, democracy doesn't work. All right, let's move on to the next phase. Like, that's basically the train that I'm on.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to ease it in though. They can't just outrage and start something new. It's not gonna work. They have to work. They have to work from both angles.
I don't know, but a lot of people on this side are just like, they don't believe in democracy anymore. They're just like, this doesn't work.
But that's the same thing that progressive have been saying forever.
Well, Karl Marx, the father of communism, once said, democracy is just a cover for socialism.
Yeah, we're definitely going into socialism.
And socialism is just a cover for communism.
I can't wait.
Basically, So, and I mean, there's institutions in America that are already kind of socialist. Social Security, food stamps, Medicare,
stimulus check.
That's not socialism,
employment.
Yeah, exactly. Those are all socialist kind of programs already. So we have it in here, but not at a majority capacity or all around us. But you know, with all the closings of businesses, this whole COVID lockdown, who knows how long this is going to last? I think we're going to head into a new threshold.
Bueno.
I don't know. I'm not worried.
Well, non-communist social.
I'm not worried
I'm not
either.
worried.
I have
excited.
protection.
Well, guys.
That's how we should be. We should be excited.
We should be. Me too. I'm very excited.
Thank you. Nice. Guys, I would like to thank you for joining me on this panel, on this debate, serious debate. And yes, as usual, we all have opposite. Not this time. This time, I think we didn't really have a lot of opposite ideas. I think we all kind of agreed.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, not absolute, but still no censorship, and it was too late to censor him if they wanted to do that. Thank you so much. Morena, yo voy a poner ahora mismo en el ahora mismo, pero no me puedo ir contestar. En el comentario de ayer, el video de ayer, una parte de los links, porque son muchos. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Miss Pilar,
did you just assume my gender?
So much for your.
Thank you for having us on.
Muchas gracias a ti por venir. Guys, please like and subscribe this video. Please, por favor. And thank you so much for for joining me, for joining to this debate. And we will have this week every day a debate. And again, muchas gracias. You're always welcome. Please like and subscribe. And I truly loved your interventions and ideas. And let's hope for a better 2021, a better administration. It could not be worse than last year. So guys,
yeah. You're gonna see, like in 10 years, they're gonna make Trump the miniseries on HBO.
It's going to be what?
Trump the miniseries on HBO.
Oh yes.
I'm telling you, this is gonna be books. It's gonna be books, everything.
Yes, he's going to be even more millionaire. He's going to sell more books, more Netflix series, more movies, and everything. Come on,
They're gonna write about him like he's Hitler.
Yes, capitalize and monetize everything to the fullest, so they will do that. I'm here for it. Come on. So adiós a todos. Bye bye. Se fueron. Bye. A ti, Morena, nos vemos. Ahora mismo te pongo el link, ¿ok? Beso. Adiós. Hasta mañana.